Hey, welcome to another video. It's a little late. Probably not the most ideal situation for a video, but it seems kind of rare that I have a lot of inspiration like this, so I'm just trying to use it when I've got it. And I want to talk about the sentence "I am," and my opinions on that, and also it's a book and an idea called "I Am a Strange Loop," all about these things called strange loops. And I'm not going to go into too much detail, but there is a channel called actualize.org that I've been following for years. Watched tons of his videos a few years ago, and then just started recently getting back into some of his videos this year, and he's just got a lot of amazing content. Really recommend checking out his channel, actualize.org. But I'm going to leave a video to this topic called a strange loop. And a strange loop is basically a sort of like a design that is pretty much physically impossible to have in a three-dimensional reality. It's basically, I can't remember what they're called. I probably should have done some research before making this video, but you'll just have to look up strange loops, like a triangle or something, but none of the ends, the ends touch each other in ways that you can't actually physically make. And so basically the point of that is at all points of the pattern, it loops around itself in a way. Definitely watch this video because I'm totally butchering all of this. I'm going to leave it in the description. But anyways, I got obsessed with the idea of loops and this looping pattern that I discovered to just be kind of what I am and what reality is. After this year in 2020, I tried using psychedelics for the first time. And after my first LSD trip, there was just this massive realization that I'm just like this big loop, and me and the universe, it's all just this loop that's looping in on itself forever, infinitely. And so my brain was kind of obsessed with this idea for a while. And just a few days after I had that trip, I went over to a friend's house and saw a book on their shelf, and the title was "I Am a Strange Loop." And I was like, whoa. So I picked it up and read like maybe the first chapter. I haven't actually read the book, but I know about a lot of what it talks about, and just basically kind of confirming that idea, or it's at least information that I resonate with after having these experiences, is that life is basically just a loop with no end or beginning. Like is it called like the Ouroboros or whatever, the snake that eats its own tail, like forever. And all of existence is just kind of like swirling around this loop. And there are loops within loops. Like we are our own little loop within the infinite loop. So yeah, I read the first chapter of that book, and then I just started looking into strange loops and found Leo from actualize.org, that he had a video on it that just was really, really good. And if you do psychedelics or you plan on doing psychedelics, it's a really good idea to watch this video before or after the trip. You can really get an understanding of this idea and contemplate it even while you're in the trip. So yeah, I'm just going to stop talking about the strange loops and link the video and let you watch it. But I also wanted to just speak a little bit about the phrase "I am," and kind of like limitation and putting anything after that. This kind of got inspired because on my Facebook, my bio said "I am that I am," which I think is probably the most true form of an "I am" statement, because it seems pretty limitless. It doesn't seem like it's a label or a box. It just means I am whatever I am. I don't even have to know what I am, but that's what I am. I just am what I am. And so I just changed it to I am a strange loop because it sounded fun and cool. And I just love the idea of strange loops now. But yeah, this idea of setting something after I am can be really good if you want to manifest things, if you want to manifest positivity and abundance and all that into your life. Then using I am statements is super powerful, and putting emotion and feeling behind it is really powerful. I think that like sexual energy and sex and masturbation can be one of the like best tools for manifestation. If you can really think about what you want and then get that intense feeling of like sexual emotion and sensation like mixed in with the thoughts, I think creates a pretty strong magnet for whatever you want. And sometimes I do like to use I am statements in that way, but there is sort of a limitation to that, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think pretty much everything's a limitation. But if you say I am abundant, then you've basically boxed yourself in to something, and usually it's likely that you'll be less open to not being abundant, which I don't know if that can even be possible, but we can definitely believe that it's possible. And so if you believe that you're not abundant and you really want to be abundant, then you're probably going to be suffering a bit. And I think when we grow our consciousness, at least this has been my experience, when I feel like I'm gaining some higher level of consciousness sometimes. And so things just start to sort of lose their meaning, like positive and negative, and what it means to be abundant or not abundant. All these words tend to just not really have any weight or much value or meaning for me anymore, because I really just don't know. I don't know what it's like to be abundant or not abundant. It's kind of like I can feel maybe like I'm not abundant, but I think if I dive like really deep into it, I have no idea what that could mean, if that's even possible to not be abundant. And I imagine that a lot of the feelings of not being abundant come from the desire to be abundant. And if you're open to like not being abundant, then I believe you're probably gonna feel more abundant. And it seems like there's just more of a calmness and peace, and just kind of like an okayness either way. And maybe that's not what you want. That's not necessarily what I want all the time. I don't necessarily want to be okay and peaceful all the time. Sometimes I really like to be extremely excited and like wild and passionate. And if I choose to be those things, then there's sort of the opposite end of the spectrum that comes along with those. And I feel like I have to be open. Don't have to be, but I think I would like to be open to experiencing like disappointment and things like that, and some shame when things aren't going the way that I want, or I'm not that excited. Sometimes I kind of like the drama of like being at one end of the spectrum and the other, and all the emotions that come with that can feel really enjoyable for me. So I don't necessarily want to just be calm all the time and like unified or something. I don't necessarily always want to be abundant or grateful. And I think, just being open to not having those things tends to be really enjoyable. Like I can really enjoy my emotions more now, because I just feel really open to my fear and to my shame and to my anger. And I really enjoy expressing them when they're alive in the moment. So I feel like I went a little off topic. The whole I am thing. Even telling yourself I am unlimited is still like a limited label. There's still like ideas and beliefs in our minds that come with this idea of being unlimited. And I think most of us just have no clue what it means to be unlimited, because part of being unlimited is the experience of being limited. And if you can't experience limitation, then you're not unlimited. So, yeah, the whole idea of infinity goes so much deeper than most people have contemplated, I think, and don't realize that this moment is basically as infinite as it gets. Like, as a 3D human being, it doesn't really get much more infinite. I think there's probably more understanding about how the universe can work, like higher consciousness, but I don't necessarily relate that to more like infinity. So anyways, those are my thoughts. Thanks for tuning in and hanging out. Talk with you guys soon.